All right. So it's recording now? All right. Okay. How was your week, Alex?
It was quite busy for me.
Okay. How busy? What do you mean?
Like I had to go out for like 4 days in a row,
Hmm?
and I walked to 2,000 to Imanbo.
20,000 steps?
20,000 steps
20 steps.
yesterday.
Why? What'd you do?
I was on a blind date, so
Ah, right. Okay. And you walked 20,000
yeah.
steps with your blind date? Damn.
Well, I was tired, man.
This week I went on a trip, and then I saw baseball, and I met my favorite player, Casey Kelly. He was so sweet. He was with his babies and his wife, and because of my friend, I was able to take a picture with him, and I was so happy. Anyways, okay, so now we're gonna start the actual podcast in 3, 2, 1. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of
Unkempt.
Unkempt with your host Amber.
And this is Alex.
Hi. Okay, so
Hi-yo.
this is finally episode 4. Sorry guys, I was sick last week. I literally couldn't breathe. Like my nose was clogged, my throat hurt, and like I could barely speak or breathe. So I had to take a week off. I'm feeling much better now. As you can see, I took a trip and stuff. So yeah. So this week we're gonna talk about
Some realistic and unrealistic expectations in relationship.
right. So I think we're gonna start off by talking a little bit about what we want in a relationship, and we'll kind of stem off from there. Would you like to go first?
Sure. Okay.
Go ahead. Tell me some things that you expect in a relationship.
Well, first of all, I'm not really good at this because I don't really have any. Not any. I have little. 뭐라 그래? Experience. Sorry
in
about
dating. Okay.
that. So, what I want is like it's in the general relationship, like in friendship as well. So I want someone to have some empathy and kind to others.
Right. General
Yeah,
things.
general things like.
Okay.
But in a like relationship, like in boyfriend girlfriend relationship, I want someone to be like for physically. I want them to be more taller than me because I'm kind of tall.
Right. We both are kind of tall. I don't know. Like people abroad are pretty tall.
Yeah.
And I think our generation and people like above us and stuff like that, they were all typically a little bit shorter, right?
Yeah.
And we're only 170 centimeters tall, right?
Yeah.
We're both the same height.
Yeah, right.
Which in like America or elsewhere might not really be considered like that tall, right? But our generation, like our age group, there are, outliers out there.
Yeah, right.
But most girls are like from 150 to like 165 is kind of like the average range, I would suppose, about, right? But yeah. So I think that's something that you could definitely expect in a relationship, but something that I want to say that's unrealistic that I see a lot in
Right.
on TikTok and stuff like that. Girls who want guys that are strictly above 6 feet tall.
What's like 6 feet in
6 feet?
centimeters?
Hold on, we're gonna have to look that up. But yeah,
I'll find that
yeah.
out.
While she looks that up, I think that if you are like
Oh, 6 feet is
A
like 182
right,
centimeters.
yeah,
That's tall.
that is tall. But there are a lot of girls out there that really want somebody that's strictly like 6 feet and above, right? And like they could be like 150 centimeters tall and be like, I want a man who's 6 feet and above. And I think that's a little bit unrealistic. Sure, there are a lot of guys out there that are tall. That's
Yeah,
great,
right.
right? But like, there are so many guys that are okay, that's just like right below that or even lower, right?
Yeah, right.
For me personally, at my height, being 170 centimeters tall, I think the perfect height for me is like a guy who's like 180-ish.
180-ish? Like
180-ish, yeah.
178.
Right, yeah.
Right.
But I have a friend who's, I think, like 158, and she strictly wants a guy above 180.
180.
180.
It's like 30 centimeters, like 22 centimeters
Because,
taller than
and
me.
when I stand next to her, like, I always tell her, like, yo, like, I'm 170. If I stand next to you, like, it's perfect for me to put my hand over your shoulders, right? I can see the top of your head perfectly fine. Like, isn't a guy who's 170 also okay? And she's like, no, because all the guys that she's seen that's like 170, 172, she thinks that they're like very skinny and like not, in her words, manly enough to her, and she doesn't like that. And I, of course, it's your preference, right? I understand, but a little bit unrealistic if you're, it's like you're limiting your dating pool,
Yeah,
literally,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Like way too much.
For me, like, yeah, when I was younger, I wanted somebody who was like freaking tall, 180 and above, yeah, but I lowered my expectations a lot.
Me too.
I told you before,
Yeah.
at least 172, please, You know,
172?
at least.
That's like so least.
Yeah, I know. I lowered my expectations
My
because
friend is
I gave up.
174.
I can give up wearing heels. Okay? My
Oh,
feet
yeah.
hurt. I'm getting old. I don't need to wear heels. Like, come on, please. Like, that's the least that I want, right? Is that still having a unrealistic expectation? I have no idea, but anyways, yeah.
But like in Korea, some guys really like petite girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
I noticed that as soon as I came to Korea. So I lived in America, right, for a long time and came here. And I came here at the peak of my adolescence, right, when I'm just starting to like boys and, care about my image and like makeup and shit like that, right? But I noticed that all the guys who are taller than me that I would like, my eyes would gravitate towards, they would all want attention from the petite, like 155.
Yeah, right.
Like, baby
Small
doll.
baby girls. Yeah.
Baby doll girls, which, it's also their preference, but I also think that's like a little weird,
Oh, yeah, right.
like vice
right.
versa, like,
Right.
girls who are like 155 or whatever, aiming for a guy who's like 180, right? It's like a little bit weird, the dynamic. It seems a little like, I don't know. It seems just weird to me. Just,
Yeah, right,
I don't know
right.
why.
My friend is like 174 and she's currently in the dating like pool
Mm-hmm.
and she's seeking for someone to marry and she's
Right.
going like tons of blind dates and one of her friend said to her that your height is going to be your limitation and if others don't like your height, you're not going to be chosen. And
Right.
that's harsh. I
It
didn't
is
want to be that
harsh, right?
tall. Like,
Right.
That's what I got when I
I'm
was
sorry that
born.
my mom is literally 178, 179,
Yeah.
and my dad is 180, right? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that I'm tall.
Anyway, so moving on from that, like something less physical for me, I want somebody who is willing to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said this on the, like, each podcast, I think, that we've talked about. Like for me, number one is communication. And to be honest, number two is like compatibility in bed is very important to me as well. But communication, I mean, like, when you have a problem or when you like feel some type of way, you express it, right?
Yeah,
and you're
right.
willing to express it. But the unrealistic part of this, I think, is that you can't expect them to tell you everything right away. Not everybody is ready to talk, right? We talked about this
Yeah,
before.
right.
And I don't think that it's, a really unrealistic expectation, but it is something that I do look for a little bit. You're not just bottling up. Like you can take your time, right? Just let me know that you need time.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
Just that kind of communication. Or, and stemming off from that, communicating your emotions properly is something that I also think is really important as well.
Yeah.
Like when you're angry, there's a big difference saying like, hey, like you're really annoying me right now, like I'm really pissed off right now, I need some time, compared to you lashing out and us like having a screaming match, right? Yeah, you're letting out your emotions and you're telling me what you feel, but it's in the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like
And
that.
I don't like person like some like saying, "Oh, I don't know." Like I do that a lot, but how do you feel like when someone asks, "How do you feel?"
Mm-hmm.
and if the others say, "I don't know," I'm not a mind reader, you know?
That was something I was just about to say, which is very unrealistic. That was something that I just wanted to say as well. Nobody is a mind reader,
Yeah,
right?
nobody is.
If you are a type of person who bottles up a little bit and needs your time to think, the other or like you want them to know how you feel. Like you know, some girls oh god, I have some friends that are like, 그냥 내 기분을 좀 알아주면 안 되나? 내가
like,
얘기해야 돼? Do I have to
just
tell
say
them?
you?
Do I have to tell you for
yeah,
you to know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You do.
I don't know what you're thinking, girl.
Yeah, but like I get it. It's hard for some people to, you know, let that out and tell them like, you know, oh, I'm jealous or like, oh, you made me feel this way. Yeah, I get it. It's embarrassing. Okay.
Or
But
if someone doesn't know that feeling like in their self,
Mhm.
but they have to say that I don't know what I'm feeling right now, but I'll find it out and articulate what I feel.
exactly.
Later.
Right. Later. It's just like, you know, you can't expect somebody to know exactly what you're thinking or how you feel all the time. And I learned this the hard way because I keep bringing up my ex. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
If someone's
he's
listening.
not listening, obviously, but
He might. If we get famous, he might listen to this.
no, I blocked him on everything. Anyways, so like for me, I usually do communicate like how I feel when I'm angry, when I'm sad and stuff like that. But there are some times that I just want him to do things for me without me having to tell him, you know, like show me that he loves me or
Yeah.
like that get me flowers, you know, without me telling him. But then, you know, he told me, Amber, I can't read your mind. You have to let me know like what you want because I'm dumb. I'm new to this. I was his first girlfriend, and you need to help me out. This is like something that we need to work on together. And I felt so sorry about that. And so we worked on it. We broke up obviously, but you know, it was quite healthy when we did,
Yeah,
you know.
he's really kind when he
Yeah.
said that.
Anything else that you want to talk about?
Do you like a person who is like 눈치 빠른 사람 or like 눈치 없어?
What is that in English?
But I searched it on ChatGPT. It says a
GPT.
quick-witted person or someone who is
Somebody-
perceptive.
Somebody who's a little yeah, okay. I like somebody who's a little bit more perceptive. Like they catch
Kicker.
things quicker. If they're too dull in like dim in those areas, like, you know, let's say they can't read the room, like the atmosphere, and let's say it's like a serious mood in the room and they're just like sitting there like
He's
like,
he's
like-
only one that is hyped up.
yeah. It's like, dude, you know, read the room, you know, act accordingly. Also, like stemming off from what I said before about like, you know, not being able to read minds. If you look at my face, like you can tell when I'm angry, you can tell when I'm sad, you can tell when I'm serious. Look at my face, dude. If you think I'm not joking, just chill out, you know? Just chill out. I don't want to lash out at you. Like if you, let's say you hurt my feelings, you said something wrong,
Yeah.
and my face is like dead, stone cold. I'm like literally looking at you like I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, I think she's gonna kill
And
me.
you're like, hey, you know, it's just a joke.
It's a
I
joke,
like, no,
Amber.
you dumbass. I will
Kill
no.
you.
No. I will try and take a breather, but still, it's like read the room. You know, somebody who's able to read the room, understand like what they have to do at a certain time, like, you know, act accordingly. What about you?
I like to be someone to be like quick-witted person, but 너무 능숙해 보여서 싫어.
What do you mean? They seem to experience, like, in what realm? Like, relationship wise?
Yeah.
Dude, like, okay, Alex cannot be talking about this right now because honestly, she has some pretty unrealistic expectations.
Because I told you guys, I have really little experience, and I'm saying little, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So
No, but like, yeah, I get it. Like, not really. I don't understand what you mean when you say like they seem too experienced in relationships. But like, okay, you know.
because I'm unexperienced, I want that person to be
And so that you can grow together.
yeah.
Okay, then you need to date somebody who's like never dated before.
Wait, I'm not that like never dated.
No, I'm just saying if you want somebody to grow with you. But then if you, let's say somebody came to you, it's like, oh, I've never had a girlfriend. Would you see them romantically?
Nah.
Exactly. So like this bitch over here, like.
Guys, I'm the person that has unrealistic perceptions.
But I think that, as long as you know it and try to work on it and try to see like the positives in people, I think that's completely fine, Anyways, for me, what I want also is somebody who has like the same values. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
You and I, let's say you're a man, and you and I are very different in terms of like what we like movies or music or food. Like we can be the complete opposites. That's fine. There are a lot of people who think that having like the same favorites and favorite movies, like favorite like music genres and stuff like that means that they're like compatible.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's completely true. Like I thought that before too. Like, oh, I like, let's say, hip hop and he only likes ballads. Oh, we're not a good match. No, I don't think that's complete. There's a reason that people say opposites attract, right? I've had relationships and friendships before where we were the complete opposite and we still hit it off really well. But the thing that is like a make or break in a relationship is when you have the same values or if you don't. Let's say like you are very family oriented, but somebody else is more job oriented, like working on themselves. I think that kind of thing kind of collides, and it's really important. Let's say or something like let's say I don't want kids but he does and he's very adamant. That's like a deal breaker, and for me that's also a deal breaker. But because you love each other, you get married, it's not going to work out. Somebody has to give in that relationship. You either have kids or you don't, right? And stuff like that. It'll cause a lot of turmoil in your life, I think. So having the same values is something that's very important to me. Of course, not everything is going to be perfect. Like we can meet halfway if we're willing to, but so.
I have some experiences on like those values. Like someone asked me if I want to like get married, like in 얼마 안 돼서 좀 이따 결혼할 거냐고.
And like, what do you mean by that?
결혼할 생각이 있니?
Oh, do you have plans on getting married?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I said no.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I don't have it right now.
Right now. But
right
do you
now.
think that it could change?
It could change if there's a right person, but
right, okay.
I haven't found the right person yet, so...
Right, so you're open to it.
Yeah,
basically.
I'm open to it, but some guy asked me that like, on a blind date.
Right.
And we were on a, like, the second... It's not a date, so it's like we were on the second meeting.
Right. That's still called a date, Alex.
But I don't want to say it's a date.
But it is.
Okay. Anyway, second date, and he asked me like, "Do you have a willing? Do you willing?
Are you willing?
Are you willing to get married
someday?"
I said no, and he said yes, and he stopped contacting me.
Right.
Right
See,
away.
Yeah, that is something that like it means that you guys hold that type of marriage at a completely different value, right? For him, that marriage is like the last, big thing. My friend as well, ever since she was young, she knew she wanted kids. She knew how many kids she wanted, when she wanted to get married, and stuff like that, and like the type of house she wants and stuff. Like she like has it set, right? That's her big thing. Marriage is like the biggest goal for her.
Yeah, right.
Marriage and having kids, right? Whereas for me, I've been on and off with stuff like that, right? I've said this before, but I was 비혼주의자. So basically, never planned on getting married because I guess it's stems off kind of from like childhood and seeing a lot of my friends' parents getting divorced, and also my parents are not divorced, but they're kind of like divorced, but not really, you know.
Complex.
It,
Okay.
yeah. So for me, that like a happy marriage was never something that was realistic, right?
Oh.
But maybe because I'm getting older, you know, almost hitting my 30s right now.
Don't
I
cry.
realize I'm not crying. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
I realize, you know, I do want to get married, but for me, I want to get married to somebody who I can consider my best friend.
Oh yeah.
Somebody that I can literally like ride or die with, right? Like somebody who I can rely on, he can rely on me, and we're best friends. Like, you know, it doesn't, because just like that lovey-dovey, like rose-colored glasses type relationships don't
not
always
real.
last. It's
Yeah.
you know, if it's something like that, I would like a marriage, you know. But anyways, having the same values is something that I do expect. But yeah.
Wait, I want to like
Hmm.
stem off
Mm.
from what you just said.
Branch off, whatever.
Branch
Mhm.
off, anyways. It's kind of opposite for me. My family has a kind of perfect stereotype for me.
Yeah, your family seems very happy. Your parents as well.
So since I saw the answer,
Bitch. Fucking jealous.
the answer of marriage, like the typical really happy marriage and
Mm-hmm.
family,
Stable relationship. That must really give you a high.
Yeah, high standard.
Yeah, no wonder your fucking like expectations
no
are
wonder.
out the fucking
Sorry.
roof. And for me, it's like dirt, like in the ground. No, just but still, you know, I totally get that, right? The way you grew up and your family in
Yeah.
general plays a huge role.
Right. When we were growing up.
Listen, my parents loved me in their own separate ways.
Right.
My mom had 4 beautiful children, and they raised us the best that they could. But my father was not the best father.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
My mom and I also had a lot of fights and stuff as well, but like they were just not compatible. They were like not high school sweethearts, but like college, university sweethearts.
Oh, yeah, my
And
mom and
my dad was my mom's first boyfriend, and they got
Oh.
married. And she tells me, ever since she's like, meet a lot of guys, do not settle for the first person you think you're in love with. Date around, because she said it's the biggest regret that she's ever had in her life,
Aw.
that she didn't get to date around before marrying my father. Honestly, if she didn't, I wouldn't be here. But you know what? I also wish for that too. You know, for you, Mom. You know, I'm sorry that you couldn't do that. But yeah. Anyways, something that I also kind of wanted to touch on. It's a little bit off topic from this. Is that when somebody wants your their significant others to make them their number one priority.
Oh.
Now, this is something that I think is like, I'm half and half on this. Like, for me, I'm a romantic person. Like, of course, my family and my friends are up here. But when I date someone, they usually come first for me. Usually. It's not because I think I have to. It's because I want to. I want to put them first. Obviously, I'm not going to throw away my whole life for them. That's not what I mean. Like, when they need me, I'll be there, you know, whenever I can. And sometimes I might blow off a couple meetings with like my friends or like my family just to be with that person, which isn't healthy, you guys, but I'm just saying. But expecting your partner to do the same for you is heavily unrealistic, you know?
Oh, because you're doing them for you are doing it for them doesn't mean they have to do it for you.
Exactly. And I say this because I had an acquaintance before. Like, for some reason, people come up to me like they've just met me and they like trauma dump on me. I don't know if I'm the type of person that makes people feel comfortable to like tell me their deepest, darkest. No, literally, I swear that I'm like if a serial killer met me, they probably tell me, confess their murders to me. Like I don't know what it is, but I had somebody that like come up to me, trauma dump on me about like their past abusive relationships and the one that they were in currently, and they told me how they constantly fight with their significant other because they won't drop everything to come to them.
What?
Listen, if you have a job, that is your job. You know, you need to make money to go on dates, you know, to provide for you and himself or
Yeah, to
whatever,
have a
herself,
life.
right? Like, she expected him to not go to a meeting for work because she felt sad.
Sad for what? That she's alone?
No, she just felt sad. And she
What?
told her boyfriend, hey, I'm feeling sad. I want you to come to me right now.
I think she's like insecure.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of problems, you know, that we shouldn't really speak about, I guess, but stuff like that, you know, being at your beck and call is something that's kind of not healthy, I think.
Yeah.
Mm. Anything else you want to talk about? I mean, I see what you wrote. Like, everything that you wrote is quite generic.
Childish.
No, not childish. It's like, you know, something that everybody should work on, you know? Like, not forcing you to do something.
Oh yeah, someone.
What do you mean by that, though? Forcing you to do something?
This is like current experience too.
Go ahead.
Guys, I've been on a blind date for a few times. Currently, like in the past few days, like some people just told me that I should live alone.
Huh? The guy?
Yeah.
The fuck?
He's
Told you-
yeah. I should leave. I said I'm with my family right now, and he said no. You should live alone because you know like your parents are going to like burden you like in some way.
Oh, wait, okay, so like live alone as in like, you know, chachi, like
Yeah.
punga. Oh, I thought oh
What?
my god, I took that completely the wrong way.
What?
I thought he's telling you like you're a bad person. You should live alone for
No,
the
no,
rest
no,
of
no,
your
no,
life.
no.
Like I thought that's what you meant. God damn. Oh my god, I was like my
If he
jaw,
said it, I'm gonna like spit him like, in his
I-
face.
my jaw almost dropped to
Yeah,
the
she
floor
kind
when
of
I heard
like
that. I
she was like stunned.
flabbergasted, bitch. Okay, anyways, yeah. Okay, so what?
That I should leave alone for, like,
Like as in advice, he told you to like try living alone.
no,
or?
it was not an advice, but he was like saying that because he's not in a good relationship with their parents, so aren't you too? Aren't you having a bad relationship with your parents?
So he
Since-
kind of.
Yeah, he was like kind of forcing me to like, you should leave alone. Like he said that for like 3 times in a row, like in 2 hours.
Okay.
But I just barely saw him.
I guess he's very close-minded in the fact that he probably thinks that most people have the same experience as him, or I guess he's kind of projecting to
Yeah.
you. You know, yeah. I get that.
That was kind of scary.
Well, yeah, sure. Like, if it was advice, like, let's say he said, hey, I don't have, like, you might have a healthy relationship with your parents. I didn't. But for me, it helped me learn to be more independent or to
Right.
stuff like that, you know. A life lesson that he had that was positive and, like, you know, not just giving you advice, but just telling you, hey, you should, if you haven't thought about it, maybe you should
Consider
try, you know.
About
You
it.
should consider it because, you know, it helped me in these ways. Like, you know, I know you might be happy at home with your parents, but you might also find a different happiness when you live alone. It's a different experience. If he or she approached it that way, I would be like, oh my god, this guy is so, you know, mature and, like, you know, able to be vulnerable about his experiences and how he felt. Fantastic. Thanks for the advice, you know. But if she's like, oh, I had a bad relationship, you know, why do you live with your parents? Like, you should live alone. Like, that's weird or whatever. I'd be like, get the fuck off my dick. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, you go ahead. I'm saving money, bitch. You know? Yeah.
That was scary.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Oh,
What?
I wrote this number 4 for something that I want.
Oh.
I want my significant other to be open to meeting my friends, and I am also open to meeting their friends, but maybe this is because I'm a little bit more of an extrovert, because we talked about this before.
Yeah, right.
So what are your views on that?
I think I'm gonna kind of get scared when
Okay.
meeting a new people. I sure want to know about
Oh, so
his
you want to.
friends,
Okay.
but I don't want to meet them like constantly.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, there's boundaries that you guys can both set, but what I'm saying is like, um, I've seen both spectrums of this. Like,
Yeah.
My best friend had a semi-healthy relationship before, and um, we, our group hit it off really well with her ex,
Mm-hmm.
and we hung out all the time, and he was willing to, come talk to us and meet us, and like kind of assimilate into our group and stuff like that, which I thought was really really cool, and and also it showed me that he was willing to, you know, kind of take some of her life into his,
Yeah.
and on the other hand, later on, she kind of ended up meeting somebody else that was just didn't want to meet others,
Uh,
right? And I also have an ex that didn't want to meet my friends because he just didn't want to. And I thought that was a little bit weird. Like, he wanted me to meet his friends, and I did, but he didn't want to meet
what?
my friends. And then, like, at first I thought it was because maybe he didn't like my friends. Like, maybe he thought that he may, but he's never, I never really talked about them in front of him or stuff like that. He just knew that they were my best friends, right? And I just think, like, for me personally, it's like a little bit of a red flag when they just don't want to, but vice versa, they want you to meet their friends.
That's like little number, man.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. So I would like it if my partner wanted to meet my friends, and we don't have to hang out constantly. Just like meet them, if they end up being cool with my friends, even better. If not, just like,
But what if like the friend said, "Oh, I think he's like giving us a bad vibe." Are you gonna like believe on
it,
that?
that is a different topic that we have to talk about. Goddamn, because it's like I trust my friends' judgment,
Yeah, right.
but I also trust my own judgment. Like, if I think that this person is giving off bad vibes from the start, I wouldn't date that person, right? If I feel like they wouldn't mesh with my family or my friends, I feel like they wouldn't really be compatible with me either. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, if my friends all collectively came to me and said, "Yo, your boyfriend is not it," like, and I can tell that they're not saying it out of just spite,
Yeah.
then I might consider it. But again, it's my own judgment. I'm gonna have to assess it. I can't just be like, "Oh yeah, dump his ass," and I'm gonna just like
I'm
break
gonna
up with
break
him.
up.
It's all circumstantial, I guess. Mm.
That's cool.
Also, what else did we write? Another thing that I think is very unrealistic, but a lot of people want, is to show you their cell phone.
Oh.
Going through their cell phone. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm curious about their phone, but I
Right,
think I'm not
humans
gonna.
are very curious creatures.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna like show me your phone.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna force them to do it.
What if there's
like,
something that like is like ringing your alarms, like this hoe? There's something going on. Would you ask them, or would you? Okay, this is kind of like stepping up. Would you? Let's say
Okay.
you know his password, like
I
you saw
it.
him,
Okay.
and you have like 60-70% certainty that there's something going on behind your back. He's in the shower. He left his phone, and he's in there for a good 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Are you looking through his phone without telling him, or would you wait and ask him to show you? Or would you just not at all?
I think I'm not gonna act on it because 나 간택이잖아.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of scary. I'm kind of wimp.
Mm-hmm.
So as a chicken, I just can't act on it. I just can't have others' phone and look on it. I think they can trace it if they want to.
Okay.
But I don't want to do it. They're gonna know.
Okay.
Anyways, so if I'm that curious, I think I'm gonna ask him, like, oh, this girl or this someone, are they close? Like that?
Okay.
But he or she is gonna lie. They might lie to me. But trusting that I think that's the relationship.
So you would trust him. What if he said, nah, you don't have to worry about it. It's just somebody I know. And that's it.
But like, how 내가 의심을 얼만큼 했는데?
Like I said, like 60-70% certain.
60-70% certainty? Then I would like ask him.
Don't act like you want to be healthy, bitch. Because for me, I'm asking him, like, okay, for
But
me.
I'm gonna tell him that I'm going to want him to say what I wanna hear.
Which is?
Nah, that's no one.
Okay.
But I have some this certainty, so if it's not an excuse, can you show me?
Okay, and what if he says no? No.
Then bitch, I'm gonna. I knew this.
So if he says no, let's say you ask him and you're like, don't worry about it. You don't trust me? What if he hits you with that? Fucking gaslighting your ass.
If he's gonna like 꼬투리 잡아,
Okay.
I'm gonna like. I'm not gonna date someone who is going to like. 말끝마다 꼬투리 잡는 애들.
I don't know how to say that in English.
Like, who's annoying?
Okay, well.
It's a different word. I don't know what to say this in English.
But like for me, I don't think looking into somebody's phone without asking is like, just like you, I'm not really a chicken in that way. Like I can do it, like if I like really want to, I'll do it. But like I don't want to stoop to that level. So just like you, I've done this before with my past couple exes. Like, hey, do you mind if I look through your phone because there's somebody that's kind of giving me weird vibes right now? And most of the time they were like, yeah, sure, you know. But if they said yeah, sure, I would probably not even look through their phone. I'd try to trust him. But if, like I said before, they're avoiding it and they're giving me, let's say like, hey, you don't worry about it, like, you know, you don't trust me, or giving me that like gaslighting, yeah, I will be like, okay, you know, I have to be a little bit more cautious. I will drop it and I won't mention it again, but based on their reaction, I will kind of make my own judgment and be like, okay, I need to be a little bit more cautious with this man.
But if I have like 의심이 영어로 의심?
My Korean is not my English is not Englishing today. I'm sorry.
If I'm kind of suspicious on
right,
someone,
suspicious. Goddamn. Okay.
I think for me, I can't like grow any. 그러니까 진전을 할 수가 없겠어.
You can't. Yeah, you can't move forward.
Yeah, I can move forward. I can't move
progress,
forward.
Create progress. Right. I think that goes for most people as well. Right. But then again, yeah. Another thing that I kind of wanted to talk about is talking about phones is when you expect them to text you back right away.
Oh, like in a minute?
Yeah. Like my friends and I have talked about this before. We talk about like what's the longest that you can wait for a text. And some friends say like 30 minutes. Some friends say like an hour. For me, it's like around like 3-4 hours, I think is like a good time frame. They have to work. You know, if you're in school and stuff like that and have to study or whatever. But work is something that
is important there.
Is important. For me though, like I'm a fast texter, like usually.
Yeah.
And for me, for my job, I do have to look at my phone often because I am texting between like, you know, my boss and my coworkers and stuff like that. And I also get texts from my job, like, you know, we do consulting and stuff like that, right? So we get texts from parents and stuff, right? So I'm on my phone, and And so if I see the text and I want to text you, I'll text you back, you know. I can text or call during work times, but not everybody can, right? But just because I can text, I'm not being like, this bitch is working, I'm texting while I'm working, how come he can't? That's completely unrealistic, I think.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who just can't understand, like, 핸드폰을 그래도 그 안에는 한 번쯤은 보지 않나?
Oh, yeah.
Don't they check like at least once during that time? And I'm like, yeah, but like you have to understand, you don't know what their work environment is like. Maybe they can't be texting on the phone. Maybe they have their boss over their shoulders and stuff like that, right? Yeah, so it's like when they're working, don't expect a text, right? Don't expect them to text back.
If they're off work?
If they're off work, like for me, it's kind of like me with my mom when I'm out, when I was younger. Update me on things. Like, let's say you're having a night out with your friends, the guys or whatever, your group. I'm not going to expect you to, like, text me constantly, but when there's, like, a change of plans or you're moving to a different venue or bar hopping, let me know. You know, just update me. Just so that I know that you're safe and, you know, and you're having fun, you know. I get that, you know, being caught up in the moment, you won't be able to text. That's completely fine. But if there's no update and let's say you go out at like 8 p.m. and until like 6 a.m. in the morning you don't text me, then I am gonna be a little bit like, hey, you know, just like, I get that you were busy and stuff like that, but just, you know, just let me know like some updates, you know, on your night. You know, an update would be nice, you know. Is that too much? Is that unrealistic?
No.
Yeah. But
like you are on a night out and you forgot to text him. But are you okay if someone calls you?
What do you mean?
Like,
someone calls me, like my boyfriend? No. If my boyfriend calls me on my night out?
Like he calls you and why didn't you like text me?
I'm okay with that because like for me it's like mutual. I don't expect anything from somebody that I can't do. I try not to, at least.
Yeah.
For me, when I'm on my night out, I'm able to text. Like, I will text you. I will update you. Not only that, I'll tell you I miss you, you know? And I want to know what you're doing. Because I'm such a fucking simp. I'm such a simp. Oh my god, no. Like, no, I'm a bad bitch. I'm not like that anymore. But, you know, because, you know, I know what it feels like to be uneasy when you're not getting a text for like 6 hours or whatever. You know, I know what that used to feel like. And I know, you know, some people are anxious attachment style. Some people are avoidant, right? If you're an anxious attachment style type of person, you need updates. And I know what that feels like. So I will text you because it's like, just because you're with your friends, yeah, maybe I'm drinking. Like, I've never been to a club before. Once. For my birthday with my friend. It was horrible, but didn't even drink. But anyways, let's say you're drinking. Just because you're drinking, like, you can check your phone once or twice, right? And I can do that. And I will text you. If I see a text from you, I'll respond. But, you know, some people can get caught up in the moment. I will text you and update you. And I will not forget to text you.
So
for me, that's for me personally, because I look at my phone all the time. Come on. So, but if you do, and there's a reasonable, like, you know, explanation for it, okay, you know what? As long as you're safe, whatever. Try not to get jealous. Try not to overthink. If you say what you say, whatever.
It was. What if?
What?
What if your boyfriend was playing with others and that was like 혼성이었어 with boys and girls.
Okay.
But he didn't text you until 6 a.m. From 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. he just didn't ring you. And
then at 6 a.m. he's like, hey, I'm home.
Hey, I'm home.
Okay.
You okay with that?
No, I'm not gonna be okay with that. I said that before. Like
혼성이면 더한데? Or it doesn't
Do
matter.
I know these girls?
Yeah.
I do. I know his friends. If I know his friends, Like, if I know that there was never any history with his girlfriends or whatever, let's say, then I would be mad at him for not being able to text me. I wouldn't be worried
Yeah.
about him, fucking other his girlfriends or whatever. I wouldn't be worried about that. I would just be like, hey, you know what? I respect you enough for you to and I want you to respect me as well. I don't want to be sitting up here worried. Like, and also if I know his friends, they'll eventually, maybe I'm not gonna ask them, but eventually they'll talk about that night and stuff, and I'll kind of know what happened. But if I don't really know these girls and he's hanging out with like girls that I haven't really heard about before, then I would be a little bit suspicious. I would be a little bit pissed that he didn't text me, at least once, But I would also ask like, hey, who'd you hang out with? Like, I know it was like a mixed group. Like, we're like, I am a little bit. I think I'm going to overthink this a little bit. So could you please ease my mind?
But I kind of have a trust issue.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what would you do in that situation?
It's like sus.
Well, yeah.
It's like suspicious.
There's, a lot of people can think from 1 to 100, It's, yeah.
I think I'm gonna overthink a lot.
I am definitely an overthinker, but for me, communication that's why it's important. Like,
Yeah.
I'll ask you about it, and as long as you're, like, upfront with me, then I'll try my best not to overthink, trying to trust you, But,
Yeah, but I do have trust issues, so I think I might not believe what she's saying.
okay, that's completely valid. I mean, if you feel that way, then you need to work through it with your partner. Like, But if it's to the point where, like, even if he's, like, showing you the proof and you're still like, I don't know if I trust you, that, you need to work on that. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he have a like valid proof on that, then I
Mm.
will just move on.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is something that I also wanted to talk about. Like, we talked about us having, like, trust issues or whatever.
Yeah.
Your significant other is not your therapist.
Right.
Like, that is also something that I feel like a lot of people tend to think. Like, you trauma dump on them way too much and you expect them to fix your problems. I see this a lot in some relationships where, yes, your significant other definitely is somebody that you should be able to depend on, when you're down emotionally, but you can't be too codependent on them to fix your problems for you, They should be able to help you emotionally, but they can't they can't fix you. You need to work on yourself
They're
as
not
well.
therapists, so.
Right? They will help you. They're like kind of like a guide, right? They should be there for you, supporting you.
Yeah, they can support you, but they can't solve it.
Right. You need to solve it yourself. Like,
Yeah.
work on yourself. Like, such as, I've seen a lot of people be in a relationship with somebody who is suffering from depression, right? And that is something that I can't speak on, personally, because
Yeah.
I've never had something like that. And there was a case, many cases I think people can say, where they kind of want to break up, but the significant other is so
Isn't-
unstable that they kind
yeah.
of threaten suicide and stuff like
Mhm.
that, right? Or being at your beck and call, like I said before. Like, it's, I don't know, it's just something that you need to work on.
I think I'm gonna get scared if that my significant other is in depression and he's gonna like
Yeah, it
threaten
is
me
scary.
to like he's gonna suicide himself.
And commit suicide, yeah.
That's scary.
Listen, like, depression is no joke. Like, and I really want to help my significant other if he is going through something like that. But at the same time, as somebody who has never suffered from depression, it is a little bit different for me because I don't know how that brain chemistry works, right?
Right,
and
right.
I don't know what type of support that you need, So, again, goes back to communication. If you need your medication, if you need time alone, if you need me to, just cuddle with you or stuff like that, I will do it. But if you expect me to pick up after you, because you can't function, you can't clean, you're not able to wash yourself because you're so depressed. I can't do all of that for you, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
That's too
just
harsh.
it is
That's
a little bit
hard.
touchy though. So
And I saw from my friend's relationship, if someone complains constantly that to their boyfriend or girlfriend, that other is going to like 진짜 힘들 것 같아.
of course, it's an emotional burden, definitely.
Yeah. Like, as you said, like complaining is healthy, like in some way, if it's in a right amount. But if someone says the same complaint for multiple times, I think that's not a healthy relationship.
Right. I mean, relationships in general are very difficult. There's no right answer. Like, you know, everybody dreams of that. You know, you see that old couple, you know, in the street, they hold hands, you know, they have like all white hair.
Mama and Papa.
Right, they like hold hands and stuff like that. They seem very romantic even at their old age and stuff like that. Everybody dreams of that perfect relationship. No relationship is perfect, you know. Like everybody, when they talk about themselves and what they want or what they try to do, they do it in a way that to present themselves as better than they are, right? I'm guilty of it. You probably are too.
Right.
Obviously, I have my toxic traits. I have things that I have to work on when it comes to relationships, like jealousy and stuff like that. Jealousy has been something that has really hurt my relationships before. That's why I haven't been dating because I have to work on myself. You know, I have to find out what my boundaries are and how to communicate that with the other person without being too overbearing, right? And vice versa. Like, you have to work on it with that person. And, like, just because you meet somebody new, they're not going to be the same. You have to work on the same values with different people, you know? And it's a little hard, yeah, but, you know, as long as you know what you need to work on and you are working on it, I feel like, you know.
Do you think people could change? This is another topic.
This is a whole another topic we're going to have to talk about. But to an extent, but not really.
Me too.
I say this all the time, but just like in education, just because you have like the highest degree of education doesn't mean that you know everything.
Yeah.
Even professors, like I've heard this all the time when we were younger. Teachers, we had teachers, they'd be like, although I'm a teacher, I'm learning something new every day. I learn new words every day. For me as well, I learn new words every day. I learn new expressions every day. Like, I'm an English teacher, you know? And just like that, you're learning new things about yourself every day. And every day you have to work on yourself. It's a new battle every single day. And I feel like just like with like cigarette addiction or stuff like that, or you're trying to quit, quit being an alcoholic and stuff like that. It's a constant fight every day. And although that might not change like who you are to the core, as long as you're working on it and you know it and you try to stop it and stuff like that, I think, you know, to an extent you can. But yeah, like once you lived your life a certain way for like 20 plus years or whatever, I feel like it's definitely hard to change.
Yeah,
but
it's really hard.
Doesn't mean that you shouldn't work on it constantly, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
It takes time to progress.
I think it's gonna take your whole life to really
grow or to change.
Yeah, you're growing till the day you die, honestly. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I think we're close to hitting the 1 hour mark.
What?
Yeah, it's 54 minutes right now, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You want to keep going or shall we stop here?
What you wanna do?
I think we can stop here for now. Is there any more that you want to talk about though? Not really.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, guys, sorry. It's been like a while since we've done this, so like it took me like fucking forever to set up the mics and do the program again because I don't remember. But yeah, honestly, I can talk about this like the whole day, but I don't think that y'all would be listening anyway. Anyways, so yeah, I think that's about it. We talked about some realistic and unrealistic expectations in relationships. If you guys have any more that you guys want to talk about, leave a comment down below. Also, I think I've never said this before. Please hit the like and subscribe and hit the bell button so that you get so you get notifications on when we upload. I know we're not very active in the comments and stuff like that. We're trying to. We're new to this, so please, Also, we have a link tree in our bio. And there is like a small survey on there, a Q&A. You can leave your dirty secrets that we can read on a podcast, or you can ask us questions and maybe we'll read it in future episodes. So yeah.
Hey guys, send some like dirty secrets to us.
I mean, I can have my friends tell us the dirty secrets, but
I don't have friends, so sorry.
What the fuck? You have me, Alex. Am I
But
not
you're not gonna write on that.
You want me to? I don't have. It's not a secret anymore then. Anyway, so yeah, thank you so much for watching our 4th episode. And until next time, this was Amber.
And this was Alex.
Thank you for watching Unkempt.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.